Hello and welcome to RoutzyTV. Hello and welcome from the Coalesce Software Broadcast Studio in Columbus, Ohio. I'm Caitlin and I'd like to welcome you to the webinar. Today we're going to talk about using the mobile sales software Routzy to help close deals in the field. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them in the chat window and we'll answer them throughout the program. Let's dive right in and answer the first question on everyone's minds. What is Routzy? Routzy is a sales-focused customer relationship management app for the iPad. Routzy handles every interaction with your customers and prospects while helping you at every point of the sales process. Whether your company has a one-person sales team or a larger sales force, going mobile with Routzy will help you stay organized, increase efficiency, and keep everyone on the same page. Ever find yourself bouncing from business app to business app over the course of the workday? The right mobile software provides the perfect antidote. From quoting and routing to analytics and contact management, a good app becomes your one-stop shop for all of your sales needs. Take a look at this sidebar. Here you'll see a list of the features you should expect from quality CRM software. Over the course of this program, we're going to start at the top of the list and go all the way to the bottom, starting right now. Before you can plot a route, drop a quote, or perform a follow-up, you need a customer, the C in CRM. If you're using an address book, spreadsheet, or filing cabinet to manage customers, you're living in the past. In today's sales world, you need access to your contacts list at all times, no matter where you are. This is one of the reasons mobile sales software is becoming so critical. A killer program gives you a portable database of all of your contacts. Wherever the day takes you, you'll be able to look up customer information and perform sales activities. Whether you're online, offline, under the sea, or a mile high in the sky, you're covered. Let's look at contact management in Routzy. Tap one of your contacts in Routzy and you'll be able to review every activity you've ever performed for them, as well as every future activity you're planning to do. Been a while since you last made contact? Fire off a quick email. With Routzy, it's easy to keep up with customers.
Sure, that sounds great, but I don't have to import all my contacts into a new program. That'll take forever.
I understand your concern, Joe, but you don't have to worry. Routzy's onboarding process is smooth and painless. It can take weeks to get started with other CRM applications, but Routzy puts you in the thick of the action right away. In fact, you can head to the App Store and download a 14-day free trial right now. Simply tap a button, and a moment later, the ultimate sales tool will be waiting on your iPad's home screen. Of course, it's easy to claim that getting started with an app is a breeze. Why don't we take a first-hand look to make sure? Fire up Routzy, and you'll want to import your existing contacts. Here to show us just how easy this is business legend Sam Sales.
Hi, I'm Sam Sales, and if you're like me, you're busy. Blue. And the prospect of setting up a new software program sounds like a lot of work. Not so with Routzy. Let me show you how easy it is to get started with this nifty mobile app. The first time we launch Routzy, we're going to land at the welcome screen. On the right side of this screen, you can browse the latest Routzy news. Then, to start using the app, you'll want to work your way down this list on the left side of the screen. Here, we'll start by setting up our profile. Tap Set Up Your Profile to bring up the My Profile window. Then, start filling out your personal information. Set your name, company name, phone number, and even an optional custom email signature that you'd like to include in your messages sent from Routzy. Once you've finished, tap Back to return to the welcome screen. From here, we'll continue down the list by tapping Import iPad Contacts. When we do this, we're going to be presented with a list of all the contacts that are already on your device. We can import just a few of them by tapping them individually, or we can tap Select All to bring everyone into Routzy. Once you're satisfied with your selection, tap Import. You'll then get a notification telling you the number of contacts successfully added to Routzy's database. The next 2 points on the list are linked to Dropbox and tutorial videos. We'll be going over Routzy's Dropbox integration later in the program. If you'd like to see it now though, feel free to skip ahead. Once we've filled out our information and imported our contacts, we're ready to start using Routzy. Tap Start Using Routzy, and you'll be taken to the contact screen. Here, we can add new contacts by tapping Add Contact in the upper right-hand corner. Set all of your contacts' information, then add a picture using the iPad's camera or from a saved photo in your library. When you're done, hit Done, and the contact will be added to your contacts list. To sort your list of contacts, tap Sort. I'll choose Last Name and stick with Ascending. As you can see, my contact list has now been sorted alphabetically by last name. From this screen, I can start using Routzy in earnest. Joe, how long did that take?
About 2 minutes.
Routzy, up and running in 2 minutes flat.
If you're a new iPad user and don't have any existing iPad contacts, Apple's given us several ways to import an existing contacts list onto an iPad. You can bring in your friends from Facebook, your phone book, or from any CSV file. The webinar has just begun, and we've already got our first question. Dennis from Texas asks, how much does Routzy cost? Well, Dennis, Routzy is available for a monthly subscription fee of $49.99, but you can get started for free by heading to the App Web Store and downloading a free trial. Remember, if you have any questions about anything covered in this program, enter them into the chat window and we'll get you an answer before the program concludes. Now that our contacts are in place, let's talk about sales activities. After all, few things are more important than activities in the sales world. In fact, the success of a sales force is directly related to the number of prospect-related activities it performs. If you're not constantly putting yourself in front of your prospect, you're likely to be forgotten. The numbers back this up. Take a look. About half the time, reps give up after making a single contact with a prospect. If they don't quit there, they're often stopping after the second or third contact. In fact, only 10% of sales reps make more than 3 contacts with a prospect. Now let me show you why that's so critical. As you can see, very few sales are made on the initial contact, or for that matter, the second, third, or fourth contact. But take a look at what happens on the 5th to 12th contact. Now that's a lot of sales. It turns out 80% of sales are closed on the 5th to 12th contact. Remember, the vast majority of sales reps never even get that far. They stop after 3 contacts. That's a lot of money left on the table. Many sales reps simply don't bother tracking their activities because the process is just too cumbersome with the current mess of desktop-based software programs. A lot of the times, the records of prospect interactions are spread out through multiple email clients, spreadsheets, or paper planners. Mobile software like Routzy can streamline this cluttered mess by listing all the sales activities performed for a prospect on that prospect's profile page. By doing this, these apps encourage activity-based sales behavior. When you can see all of your interactions with the lead in one place, it's easier to know whether or not you still need to get in touch. A prospect page that looks like this represents an opportunity to catch up, while a prospect page that looks like this means your contact continues to be taken care of. Organize all of your emails, text messages, phone calls, and notes into a single location. Show them how it's done, Sam.
You made a great choice. When talking sales, few things are more important than activities. Routzy helps you stay organized by logging all of your contact interactions in one place. Right now, I'm going to show my sales friend Steve just how it works.
What's this? Another CRM app? Forget it. Been there, done that.
Let's see if we can change his mind. To add activities to a contact, select a contact, then tap the plus button at the bottom right. This brings up the list of available activities. The first thing we'll do here is add a sales call. When we select sales call, Routzy will automatically fill in the start time with the current time.
Whoa, hold on. What if I show up late and have to do this after the fact?
If you're doing this retroactively, you can change the start time by tapping this field and adjusting the clock manually. I can do the same thing with the finish time, or I can just tap now for a sales call that just ended. Once I have a start time and finish time, Routzy will automatically calculate the duration of my sales call. If I successfully made contact on my sales call, I'll check the Made Contact box. The remaining boxes are where I'll record information regarding the content of the sales call. I can set an objective for today by typing in the first field.
Oh man, my first objective is always to exchange contact information and set a date for a future demo. I don't want to have to type all that out every time.
That's why Routzy lets you select text blocks from a pre-made list of objectives. Tap the blue button, then select from a list of your most frequently used objectives.
Whoa, I've got to admit, that's pretty cool.
It gets better. Once the sales call has been completed, you can see it in your customer's activity log.
Alright, but if I want to send them a follow-up email, I have to exit Routzy and go into another program. Talk about headache.
Not true. To send an email, I'll select Email Out from the list of activities. This works just like regular email. I'll enter my subject line, message, and select any attachments I'd like to send. Note also that instead of typing, I can select a pre-made text block by tapping any of the blue buttons to the right. Tapping Done will bring up a final preview. If everything looks good, I can tap Send to send my message. Again, note that the email has been recorded on the contact's activity log.
You know, that's all great, but there's one major sales tool you're leaving out. Ever hear of something called a telephone?
I have, Steve. And so has Routzy. To log that a contact has reached out to you, select Call In and flesh out the details. If you'd like, you can even add this phone call to an external calendar.
Sorry, I just got a text from a prospect.
Then let's log that text in Routzy. Just select Text Message In and supply a brief summary of the contents.
Okay, she wants me to call her office tomorrow. Man, I'm never gonna remember that.
Relax, Steve. Routzy has you covered. Adding a follow-up in Routzy is a good way to remind ourselves to do something in the future. Let's set a follow-up for the same time tomorrow so that we'll remember to give our contact a call. Since the follow-up was set for tomorrow, you'll see it under tomorrow's date in the activity log. The red color to the left means the follow-up hasn't been completed yet. Once I perform the follow-up, I'll mark it complete. And you can see that the color will change to green. As you can see, Routzy keeps all of my interactions with my contact in one place.
That's neat.
I can even edit the timestamps and content associated with each activity. Some of the more advanced activities, namely proposals, drawings, and pictures, are explained later in this program. In the meantime,
I've got work to do.
Routzy, a better way of doing business.
One of the goals of Routzy is to encourage activities-based sales behavior, which is why it's so easy to keep track of all the actions you perform. Remember, if you have any questions about Routzy, you can enter them into the chat to get an answer. Also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We've talked about why activities are so important. Now let's talk about the most important activity, the quote. Stop me if this sounds familiar. Right now, your sales staff shows up at a customer's location with paper and pen. To make their quote, they're scribbling notes everywhere, crossing things out, and penciling in numbers. Then, when it's time to present the quote, your rep has to return to the office to painstakingly recreate their handwritten notes in a desktop-bound quoting system. How many details get lost at the various steps throughout this process? How much has your customer's enthusiasm waned since your rep left their premises? After an entire day of sales calls, your company is more likely to be mired in endless administrative nonsense than they are closing deals. Not so with mobile software. Start harnessing the power of professional quotes when making your refunds, your rounds in the field. Once you hit a customer's location, you can generate and finalize your proposal in minutes. Tap a button to create a new proposal, and the document will automatically fill in your company information, logo, and terms, as well as your customer's contact data. Once this is accomplished, you can add line items, change quantities, and calculate rates with a built-in calculator. Of course, every customer's needs are different. Fortunately, quoting with mobile software means quoting with flexibility. If you need to create a new, specialized, or modified line item, you'll be able to do so in a matter of seconds. Terms and conditions can be saved, reused, and swapped around in the same manner. Once a quote is completed, you can collect a customer's signature, then record an immediate payment. Finalize the form, and you can export it as an email to your customer and/or your home office. You can even print it on the spot. Better still, your completed work becomes available across your office network via Dropbox integration in a matter of minutes. All this may sound complex, but quoting with Routzy couldn't be easier. Within minutes of installing the app, you will be generating proposals on location at the speed of thought. Let's take a look at Routzy's powerful quoting abilities right now.
Right now, I'm making a sales call. Things are going well, so I'm going to drop a quick proposal using Routzy. Meanwhile, across town, my friend Steve is drafting a handwritten quote. Let's see who finishes first. When I add a proposal to a customer in Routzy, my company information, terms and conditions, and contact info will automatically be supplied.
Our form has our company name and terms printed, but I better hurry if I want to fill out my customer's information anytime soon. Hey man, what's the address here again?
I can name and number my quote in the upper right box. Once that's done, I'll add the line items my contact and I talked about. I can easily select these from a pre-made list of parts and services.
I've got my quote back. Now, let's see. How much will this labor cost again? Let me check my chart. I think it's in here somewhere.
Routzy lets me set quantities and apply taxes. You'll notice that the total automatically updates as the proposal is fleshed out. Once I'm done, I can hand my customer the iPad to collect a quick signature.
2 of those, that's, I don't know, 800 something. Man, I suck at math. Hold on, let me find my calculator.
I can preview my finished quote, then email it to my customer on the spot. And like that, another deal is done. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm struggling with the numbers here. Hang on just a second.
Let's speed this up, shall we?
All right, done. Take a look.
I can't read this chicken scratch. Here, type something up and send it to me.
Ah, man. Looks like it's back to the office. Oh, come on. Let's go, people.
Don't put this between you and closing. Give Routzy a try.
As you can see, Routzy lets you create a great-looking proposal in no time at all. Don't wait until you get back to the office to serve up a quote. Strike while the iron's hot for a better chance at closing your deal. It looks like we've got another question. This one is from Louise in Oregon. Louise asks, is there a desktop version of Routzy? Well, Louise, here's your answer. Routzy itself is exclusive to the iPad, but you can access your data from any internet-enabled device thanks to our Dropbox integration. Check us out online at Routzy.com to learn more. We've seen how adeptly Routzy handles traditional text-based quotes, but things aren't always so simple in the sales world. When making a sales call or performing an estimate, how often do you need to bust out a phone or digital camera to snap some quick pictures? Go on, raise your hands. All the time, right? If your quote deals with a specific room, structure, or space, you're taking some pictures. Whip out your phone and you can snap a pic or two. But if you want to add a note, you often have to wait until you can get back to the office to import your photos into a program that allows annotations. Or let's say you're a general contractor. Right now, you're probably busting out the good old graph paper when it's time to hammer out the specifics of a plan. Your drawing might make sense to you, but often that's the only person it makes sense to. If you want to look professional, you have to travel back to the office to rebuild and relabel your drawing before sending it to the prospect. That's a lot of time for things to go wrong. You might forget details. Your prospect might change their mind, or worse, talk to the competition. You need to give yourself a way to finalize the visual elements of your proposal on site. You need to give yourself mobile software like Routzy. Whether you're taking a picture or making a drawing, the app has your back. Create process diagrams, floor plans, and annotate pictures all right inside Routzy. Take a look at some of the real-world drawings and pictures Routzy users have put together. Keep in mind, each of these images was created by a sales rep or contractor, not by an artist. Routzy's drawing tool is powerful but simple. Each image here was completed in just a few minutes. With Routzy and your built-in iPad camera, you'll rival Rembrandt in no time at all. Complete a drawing or picture and you can send it to your prospect lickety-split. With a Routzy-powered presentation, your proposal is sure to make an impression. Let's ask Sam to show us just how easy it is to make sales art in Routzy.
This warehouse might look empty now, but I have big plans for it. I could show my ideas to my clients with a paper and pen, but that means making a copy.
Come on, piece of junk. Work.
Or scanning it into a desktop app.
Why?
Either way, it'll be a while before it can do my client any good. Routzy lets me express my ideas at the speed of thought in the field. Let me show you. Let's start by duplicating the space. For this, I want a big grid to work with. That means smaller boxes. Let's tap Snap to Grid, then make a nice big box. Now I'll show my prospect my plan to turn this empty warehouse into a bustling office. We'll make this the sales floor. I see this as one big desk with reps positioned all around. Let's add some chairs. Here, we'll put a row of wall-mounted TVs that display relevant, real-time marketing information. Now, let's label those TVs. Some of our high rollers are going to want their own offices, so let's add those. Every office needs a door, and every workforce needs a kitchen. Let's give our kitchen a door. Now, we'll label everything to make sure no one forgets what we talked about. Note that as I'm applying labels, I have options for font size and typeface. In this case, I'm making everything large and bold. Looks pretty good. You know, on second thought, I want to move this sales hub out a bit. We'll just select everything and... much better. After just a couple minutes, we've got a great looking, easy to understand drawing for our client. Let's name this drawing and send it to our prospect. We'll also save it to our customer's activity log in case we need to change it at a later date. Pretty cool, right? Breathe new life into your ideas with Routzy.
Remember, we're taking questions. If you think of something you'd like to know about Routzy, ask it in the chat window. We'd love to hear from you. We've shown you how Routzy's quotes, drawings, and pictures will increase your efficiency and help you close deals in the field. But what happens after you make the sale? For most companies, the answer is the same: paperwork. It's hard to buy something bigger than a pack of gum these days without filling out a form first. Time is money, and no one wants to waste theirs endlessly writing their name, number, and address. What if I told you that there's a way to instantly populate a stack of forms with all the requisite contact data? Once again, it's mobile software to the rescue. Take all of your existing company forms, bring them into an app like Routzy, then marvel as the forms automatically fill in the contact information for every existing customer they're applied to. Let me give you an example of how this works. This is Bob, my neighbor. Bob wants to buy a preventative maintenance plan for his office building. Using Routzy, I can add the service agreement form to my contact page. Watch what happens when I do this. You'll see that Bob's contact information, as well as my own, is automatically supplied. That means Bob and I don't have to waste any time with the names, addresses, phone numbers, and company information. Instead, we'll be free to focus on the important details: the yeses, nos, and signatures. Now, you might be thinking,
Man, I don't want to create a bunch of brand new forms just to use some fancy new app.
I hear you, Joe, but you don't have to worry. There's no need to start from scratch. Set up and import your existing PDF forms into Routzy, and you'll be good to go from that point forward.
Yeah, but some of my forms require complex inputs. See this one? It's got a table for tabulating numbers.
More good news, Joe. No matter what type of information you want entered, Routzy provides the tools to get the job done. Populate your form with checkboxes, radio buttons, drop-down menus, anything you want. For numerical data, Routzy gives you even more options. Set up your form the right way, and you can utilize spreadsheet-style formulas that automatically perform calculations as data is entered. Advanced users can even harness the power of JavaScript and if-or-then statements.
Okay, but if my form gets too complicated, won't my sales reps fill it out wrong? I don't want to try to cram letters into a numbers field.
Our software developers understand that data integrity is a big deal, so they included plenty of fail-safes in Routzy's form functionality. Our field validations prevent users from filling things out incorrectly. Set up a form properly, and your reps will be restricted from saving it until all the fields are filled in correctly. Try getting that kind of peace of mind out of your paper forms.
I don't think I will. I assume these forms do something cool once they're finished.
You bet they do. Finish a form, and you can email a copy straight to your customer. The completed work will also become available across your office network thanks to either Dropbox integration or Smart Service. Now, we know paperwork isn't sexy and it's not the funnest topic in the world. It is, however, a massive vital part of any business's operations. That's why forms comprise such a huge component of Routzy's functionality. Let's take a closer look, courtesy of Sam Sales.
Oh my gosh, really? I hate this thing.
Business software should be all about saving you time. And with Routzy's auto-populating forms, saving time is the name of the game. Set it up once, and you're good to go. Let me show you how it works. When we ultimately bring our form into Routzy, we'll want to auto-populate as much customer information as possible. To set this up, we'll prepare our form in Adobe Acrobat before bringing it into Routzy. This is accomplished by renaming fields in our form PDF. To rename a field, right-click or command-click the field and select Rename Field. Next, we'll enter the Routzy formula corresponding to the data we'd like to automatically populate. We can get a complete list of Routzy form formulas on the Routzy website. I'm going to take a few moments to fill in formulas for all my fields. To get this file into Routzy, I'll simply email it to myself and open it in Routzy. To add the form to a contact, select a contact. Tap the plus button, then choose Form. A pop-up will appear at the bottom of the screen from which we can select any form we've imported into Routzy. Let's select the work order that we just created. As you can see, Routzy automatically filled all the fields we set up in Acrobat. If I need to make a change to anything, I'll simply tap a field and type in my correction. Now, when I show up to meet my customer, we don't have to waste any time filling out the boring stuff. I know what you might be thinking.
Come on, it doesn't take that long to fill out a form. Is this really going to save me that much time?
Fair question. Let's crunch the numbers to find out. Let's say it takes 5 minutes to fill out a form, and you fill out an average of 3 forms a day. That's 15 minutes every day, or 75 minutes a week. With 250 work days every year, you're losing an annual total of 3,750 minutes filling out forms. That's 62.5 hours, or roughly 1.5 work weeks. So let me ask you, how many sales is a week and a half worth to you? Get right down to business with Routzy.
We don't expect you to blow up your current job process when you switch to Routzy. Instead, we make it easy to digitize your existing paperwork and roll it with your complete forms library. It looks like we actually got a question about forms. This one came from an anonymous viewer. Our mystery viewer wants to know, can I bring in my fire safety inspection PDF? You sure can. Many of our fire protection customers use Routzy to fill out inspection forms every day. For traveling sales reps, the day usually begins with the planning of a sales route. In the past, this was accomplished by spreading out a big paper map and sticking in pins representing your plans. This is a classic setup, but it's a bit cumbersome in today's fast-paced business world. These days, sales professionals need access to their plans on the go, and they need the ability to modify and adapt their agendas as the day transpires. This is precisely why Routzy updates the Mapboard concept for the digital age. At the touch of a button, you can look at all of your contacts in a particular city, state, or zip code, as well as view all of your contacts in a particular group or at a certain company. Add contacts to a sales route, and Routzy will optimize that route automatically, presenting you with the fastest way to move between all of your stops. You won't waste another minute agonizing over the best way to plan your day.
Whoa, hey, wait a minute. What happens if I have a specific appointment at a specific time on a specific day? What happens then?
Great question, Joe. Routzy can be set up to accommodate any schedule. If Routzy's optimum path doesn't fit your agenda, you can reorder the steps with a flick of a finger. Set your stops with confidence because even if you get lost, Routzy won't. When things look dire, you can fire up GPS directions by tapping a button. Of course, navigation and planning aren't the only perks of routing the Routzy way. Let's say you're going all the way to Springfield to visit a prospect. Wouldn't you like to see if you have any other leads or contacts in the area? Set a city filter for Springfield, and Routzy will show you every single one of your Springfield contacts. This will let you kill several birds with the same stone, helping you get more value out of every trip. Managers will especially love Routzy's routing functionality. As long as it's connected to the internet, Routzy will export the GPS coordinates of its users. If one of your reps skips a stop or spends 3 hours at lunch, you'll know. With Routzy routing, your sales force will be able to cover more territory than ever before. Sam, why don't you show them some of the amazing things your app can do?
Remember these map boards? They were great, right? It's nice to see all of your contacts in one place like that. But who wants to lug one of these around all day?
Come on, get in there.
Especially if you have more than one.
Thing.
Luckily, there's a better way. Routzy duplicates everything you love about the map board, and then some. Let's take a quick look at how it works.
Once you're in Routzy, select Routing from the drop-down menu. Now, to populate your map with contacts, you'll want to select a filter in the bottom left corner of the screen. You can select all of your contacts from a group or company, but the most useful options are often city or state. In my case, I have a lot of contacts from Columbus, Ohio, so I'll set my city to Columbus. As you can see, my map has now been filled with a host of unassigned contacts. To organize these contacts into routes, I'll tap Add New Sales Route. I can highlight the new route by tapping it, and then I can start selecting contacts to add them into my route. To add another sales route, I'll once again tap Add New Sales Route, and simply repeat the process. You'll notice that my second sales route has a unique color and number. This will help me differentiate routes if I have a lot of contacts in the same area. To remove a contact from a route, tap the pin again. You'll notice that the contact then reverts to the unassigned gray color. To delete an entire route, slide your finger across the sales route and tap the delete button. This will remove all of your contacts from that route, allowing you to assign them a new route. Once I'm satisfied with everything, I can use Routzy to optimize the order in which I'll navigate through my sales route. If I tap the blue button to the right of my route, Routzy will create the ideal order for all of my stops. My current location will be set as the default beginning and ending point, but I can change that by adding a custom origin or destination. In this case, I'll set my ending location to my home address so I won't have to return to the office at the end of the day. If I know I have to meet one of my customers first thing in the morning, I can prioritize stops by sliding them up the list. Routzy will re-optimize my route around the change. To start navigating to a customer, I'll either click on their PIN or on their name in the list to the left. Tapping Navigate will bring up directions in maps, while tapping Profile will bring up the customer's profile, allowing me to start recording sales activities.
And like that, I'm on my way to my first sales call.
Pretty cool, right? Remember, if you have any questions about Routzy, you can enter them in the chat to get them answered during this program. If you'd rather stop listening to get your hands on the app, head to the App Store to download it right now. We offer a 14-day free trial to help you get your feet wet. Start routing and quoting with Routzy, and you'll increase your efficiency to the point that you're in front of more prospects than ever before. So here's a basic sales question. After making a sales call, what's the next step? Following up. To keep yourself at the forefront of customers' minds, maintain an air of professionalism, and increase the chances of closing, frequent punctual follow-ups are vital to any salesperson's success. But what's the best way to perform a follow-up? Let's look at some popular methods. You can write a sticky note reminder, you can add an entry in a paper scheduler, you could even create a web-based calendar event. Unfortunately, each of these methods is fraught with peril. Paper notes are easy to lose, calendar events often get lost in the jumble. When it comes to closing an important deal, you can't leave any margin for error. As soon as you're done talking to a prospect, you can set up a follow-up reminder in Routzy. When the time designated for that follow-up rolls around, a push notification ensures you won't forget.
But what if my kid has the iPad when the reminder comes up? Won't I be out of luck?
Once again, Joe, good question. Routzy includes a follow-ups tab that contains every single follow-up you have scheduled. If you miss one the first time it came around, you can find it here. In fact, the list begins with follow-ups that you missed, making it impossible for anything to slip through the cracks. This is one of Routzy's simpler features, but it's an important and powerful one. Let's take a closer look, courtesy of Sam Sales.
I just finished a sales presentation. I feel pretty good about what we talked about, so I want to make sure I follow up with my prospect. Of course, I've got a busy day. I've got 5 more stops to make before heading back to the office. And if I wait to schedule my follow-up, I'll likely forget about it altogether. That's where Routzy comes in. With Routzy, I can set my follow-up on the way to the parking lot. First, I'll pull up Andy, the prospect I just met with. On the right, you can see the information for the sales call I just made. To set a follow-up, I'll tap the plus button and select follow-up. I'll set the time for the follow-up, then type in the reason I want to get back in touch. Before I finish, I'll check the Add to Calendar box to make sure a reminder goes off when 2:30 on Thursday rolls around. I can also use Routzy's follow-up features as a virtual to-do list. Let me show you what I mean. If I select follow-ups from the upper left drop-down, I'll see a list of all the follow-ups I have scheduled. The list starts with follow-ups that are overdue, then goes on to the follow-ups scheduled for today. At the bottom of the list, you'll see the follow-up set for tomorrow and later this week, including the one I just created for Andy. If I have a few minutes, I can go ahead and take care of some of these. I'll start at the top with a follow-up that's past due. If I tap on the follow-up, I can take a look at the reason I set it to begin with. If I can't remember what I talked about with this prospect, I can go from here straight to my contacts page. In this case, I just need to send an email. Let me just select one of my standard messages. There. After I've sent this to Anne, I can check this box to mark the follow-up as complete. Doing this will remove the follow-up from my follow-ups list. Well, look at that. It looks like I have a follow-up due right now. The great thing about Routzy is that this notification would have gone off regardless of what I was doing with my iPad. Even if Routzy was closed, I'd still know that I had to get back in touch with this prospect. Stay on top of all your correspondence with Routzy.
We've got another question about Routzy. Tina from Maryland asks, is there a free version of Routzy? Yes and no. You can get started with a 14-day free trial to see if you like Routzy. After that, you'll need a paid subscription to keep using the app. Some of the software features we've discussed might sound great, but do they work? At the end of the day, does all the flash and wow add up to more sales? To understand the effectiveness of any sales strategy, you need accurate reporting. Enter Routzy. Routzy tracks sales activities automatically. Every time a rep performs an action, that action is logged, categorized, quantified, and sorted. The results pile up and automatically generate reports that are available at the touch of a button. Set any time frame you want, from minutes to years, then see how many sales activities a rep made in that span. Drill down to see what those activities were, tap another button, and look at the results. It's all there, and it's all automated. Keep your iPad connected to the internet, and Routzy will also export the GPS information associated with each activity you perform. This effectively allows managers to track the physical locations of their reps in real time. When parsing activities in this way, new, more accurate conclusions can be drawn. Do you have more than one sales rep? Wouldn't you like to know if anyone is burning through an unacceptable number of leads to make their sales? Wouldn't you like to see which member of your team closes at the most efficient rate? Who should you trust to represent the company when a major contract comes down the pipeline? Once again, Routzy will show you the way. Let's sneak a peek, shall we?
Man, I really don't want to make that last sales call today.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, 5 o'clock can't get here fast enough if you ask me.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking?
3-hour taco run?
3-hour taco run.
Without the right workforce tracking tools, it's easy to get taken advantage of. Routzy helps managers get the most out of their workforce. Let's take a look and see what Jason's 3-hour taco run looks like in Routzy.
Jason's iPad has a service plan, so it's been logging breadcrumbs and the locations where he's been completing activities all day. If we scrub through this timeline, we can see the story of Jason's workday. Looks like he started by sending some emails from the office. Then he made a few sales calls before returning to the office around noon. Now he's just down the street. Probably at lunch. Nothing wrong with that. We all have to eat. An hour later, he's still there. Hour and a half? That's a stretch. 2 hours? Something's wrong. 3 hours? Time to make a phone call.
That's great for my boss, but why would I want an app that's going to rat me out all the time?
A great question, Jason. Let's take a look at some of the analytics features sales reps like you will love.
This menu in Routzy shows all the different reports you can view. We'll take a look at a couple, just to give you a quick taste. First up, the Proposal Source Summary screen. This screen sorts our proposals by source, and shows us the relative value of each of those sources. You can see the total value of a source, the average value of a source, and what percentage of the total amount of money you've quoted is accounted for by each source. The filter in the bottom left lets you pare your data down further. If you'd like to only look at proposals you won, you can do so here. This shows us that Jason's best leads are coming from phone calls. In the future, Jason will know to prioritize these leads as they seem more likely to end in sales. Let's take a look at the proposal item summary. This will show us all of the items we've ever included in a quote or proposal. If, for example, I'm frequently including pulleys in my quotes, I can see the total number of pulleys I've ever quoted, as well as the total amount of money those quoted pulleys are worth. I can also see the average number of pulleys in a proposal and what that average is worth to me. This will help me figure out which items are my hottest sellers and which are languishing on the shelf.
This kind of data will help reps make better decisions with their time. What do you think, Jason?
Jason?
Looks like Jason's on board. When you're ready for fewer tacos and more sales, give Routzy a try.
Most sales reps are required to send regular reports on their activities. It can take a long time to create a detailed report using other software, but Routzy does it automatically. There's still some time left in the broadcast, so get these questions in. Ask something in the chat window and we'll answer it right here on RoutzyTV. Quotes, pictures, forms, reports, we've seen the things Routzy can make, but where does everything go? How does all this content make it back to the office? Well, depending on how you choose to use Routzy, there are two answers. For the field service companies of the world, there's Smart Service, which we'll cover in the next segment. For everyone else, there's Dropbox. Today's sales pro needs their data at their fingertips. They need it whether they're online or off, and whether they're in the office or in the field. That's why we built Routzy from the ground up to give you complete untethered access to your data. No matter where you are, our comprehensive Dropbox integration will keep your files at your fingertips. With Routzy, you're only ever a few finger flicks away from filling forms, drafting proposals, and closing deals. If your travels take you to a location with no internet service, you can rest easy knowing that your Routzy files and contact data are available and waiting. Routzy's Dropbox integration also streamlines communication between the office and field sales professionals. Update client information in the field, and that update automatically becomes available throughout your Dropbox system. If you choose, any machine hooked up to Dropbox can view minute-by-minute GPS reports from your field team. Managers can use this information to keep precise track of reps' movements throughout the day. Previously, this kind of advanced tracking wasn't in the price range of smaller and mid-sized companies. Routzy gives businesses the high-tech tools they need to ensure efficiency. In fact, why don't we take a look at how seamlessly Routzy and Dropbox get along?
Well, we had a good run. It's time to hang up this first.
Sign this paper, sir, and the bank takes over. Pleasure.
Guys, I just closed the deal of the century. We're back, baby! Yikes. Nightmare situation, right? Let's take another look at what went wrong. See that? I'm making the mistake of relying on paper and pen. If I were using the right sales tools, Dropbox integration would have saved my company. Let me show you what I mean. So here I am, about to make the deal of the century. Let's go ahead and swap out that paper and pen for Routzy.
Once you've linked Routzy to a Dropbox account, every action or change you perform in Routzy will automatically be sent back to Dropbox. So let's create a new contact in Routzy. We'll quickly fill out the name, Bob, picture, company, title, phone number, address, and email information. Now, let's see what this did in Dropbox. Sign in at Dropbox.com and click on the Apps folder. Click on Routzy, and finally Contacts. Here you can see all of the salespeople that have connected to this Dropbox account. We'll click My Name. This will show a list of all my Routzy contacts, including Bob, the contact I just created. Let's click on Bob. This profile PDF displays all of the profile information we just created for Bob in Routzy. Note that the total activities reads 0. Let's take a look at how quickly Routzy will update this profile after we start adding activities. Let's add the phone call I made to set up this meeting, the text message I sent to say that I was on the way, the drawing I used as part of my presentation, and the proposal that will ultimately save my company. I'll give the proposal to my client to sign, then take another look at my new customer in Dropbox. When we click on Bob's name, we can see new folders for drawings and proposals. If we click on our profile PDF again, we can see that it has been updated with a detailed list of activities. Let's back out and look at the proposals folder. In here, we'll find the proposal we just created, complete with a customer signature.
The great thing about Routzy's Dropbox integration is that your progress is instantly viewable to anyone who has access to your Dropbox account. This helps office staff stay on top of field sales activities, and it also means the managers at this meeting could see that I closed the deal when I closed it, letting them say,
No thank you, Mr. Banker. I won't sign my company over to you today.
say no to terrible business deals and keep everyone on the same page using Routzy.
Bill from Detroit has a Dropbox-related question. Bill asks, do I have to pay extra to use the Dropbox feature? Don't worry, Bill. You can take advantage of Routzy's Dropbox integration at no additional cost. For most users, Dropbox is the only Routzy backend that's needed. If, however, you're running a field service company, you have an even better option, Smart Service. For close to 20 years, Smart Service has been leading the charge for field service companies that want to stay on the cutting edge and out in front of the competition. Thousands of service companies all over the world use Smart Service to process millions of work orders every year. Smart Service is the desktop app for scheduling, dispatching, routing, and invoicing jobs in the service industry. Where does Routzy enter the picture? Right here. Routzy and Smart Service can be used together in a couple of different ways. It all depends on how you choose to run your company. If you'd prefer your sales reps handle their own schedules and lead generation, Routzy can be used to initiate the sales process in the field. Once they sell a job, your sales pros can send the info back to Smart Service for scheduling. Your job dispatcher will then select a time and technician in Smart Service's scheduler. If you'd prefer to have more control over your sales reps' movements, you can instead use Smart Service to schedule estimates for your team. Do this and your reps will find their agendas waiting for them when they pick up their iPads in the morning. They'll then hit the field, make their stops, and send sold jobs back to the office for scheduling. Let's take a closer look at how it all works. Hi, I'm Caitlin, a job dispatcher for Midstate Air. Before I can schedule a job, my company has to sell that job. And with the mobile sales app Routzy, selling jobs has never been easier. Let's take a look at how it works. Inside Smart Service, I can schedule a sales call for one of my sales reps. First, I'll go into a prospect's profile. Once there, I'll click Add Job. I can add a job note and a line item. Once I'm finished, I'll use the scheduler to select the time I'd like my rep to meet with a customer. Once I'm done, I'll click Save and Close. At this point, a sales call and proposal will be generated and sent to my sales rep's mobile device.
Hi, I'm Josh, a sales rep from Midstate Air. Since I spend most of my time traveling, I use the mobile app Routzy to handle all of my sales needs.
Inside Routzy, I have a complete list of all of the contacts assigned to me. If I tap on one, I'll be able to review the associated contact information. In Stacy's case, I see that I took the time to add a picture. This is a great way to jog my memory if I haven't made contact with this prospect in a while. To see what's been scheduled for me today, I'll go into the activity details screen. I see that I have a sales call scheduled for Benjamin Simmons. Let's see what that's about. Looks like we're talking about replacing the ductwork in our customer's warehouse. If I tap Go to Contact, Routzy will open Benjamin's profile. On the left side of the screen, I'll find the customer's phone number. I can use this to call ahead and remind my customer that I'm on my way. Clicking on Ben's address will give me a snapshot of his location. From here, I can tap Navigate to get turn-by-turn directions and maps. The right side of the screen will show me all the sales activities my company has performed for Ben. I can review phone calls, drawings, emails, and anything else listed here. Everything associated with Ben is located in this one place, even activities originally performed by a different sales rep. At the top of this activity list, we'll find today's tasks.
Once Ben and I start talking, I can use Routzy to create visual aids for my presentation.
In this case, I'll annotate this picture of Ben's facilities. As the meeting progresses, I can update the proposal to better reflect what my client wants. Adding and updating line items is a piece of cake.
Once I'm done, I can hand Ben the iPad to collect a signature. Once I get it back, I can email a copy to Ben so he has something for his records.
After that's done, I'll set the proposal status to awarded. Doing this will create a notification in Smart Service indicating that a new job needs to be scheduled.
When a rep successfully makes a sale, my home screen will update the number of awarded prospect jobs. Clicking this notification opens a list of sold jobs that need to be scheduled. Let's look at the sale Josh made to Benjamin Simmons. Here I can review all the line items Josh added, then schedule this job by clicking Convert to Customer Job. Doing this will create a job in both Smart Service and QuickBooks. If I go into the job, I can add notes for my service technicians and even create purchase orders if the proposal calls for them. Once I'm done, I'll schedule the job. Clicking Save and Close will dispatch the job to my field crew via the iFleet app. As you can see, Routzy gives you everything you need to go from the moment of the sale to the moment the service is finished, all in one convenient software system. Find out more at smartservice.com. Use Routzy and Smart Service together, and your company will be scheduling jobs the moment after they're sold in the field. Smart Service makes a great back end for field service companies, but remember, it's totally optional. If it doesn't make sense for your company, don't use it. Routzy works just fine as a standalone app. It doesn't take a genius to confirm this basic truth. The greatest software in the world is worthless if you don't know how to use it. If you're simply pulling software off the shelf based on its features list, you're missing the other half of the puzzle. How does each company handle onboarding and training? How do you know you're in good hands after you make the purchase? Many CRM applications demand long, painful, laborious installation processes. Routzy, conversely, is available with the tap of a button. Simply head to the App Store and download it right now. When we built Routzy, we designed the app so that users could teach themselves how to operate it. All you have to do is open the app, then work your way down the list on the left side of the welcome screen. Get to the bottom, and you'll be a Routzy master. And if you ever do run into problems, our team is waiting to help you out of them. Every Routzy subscription comes with unlimited support. Call our headquarters to connect with a highly trained, enthusiastic computer expert dedicated to making your Routzy experience a great one. Of course, tech support isn't the only thing we do after the sale. Our dedicated development team works tirelessly to keep Routzy on the cutting edge. New features are added regularly, and you can rest easy knowing Routzy will always be top of the line. In fact, why don't we take a quick tour of Coalesce Software and meet the family?
Yes, sir. God, man, I hate sharing a desk.
I know. I can't get any work done. If only this office were twice as big.
Oh, yeah. All right.
At Coalesce Software, we're expanding so fast, the walls are coming down. Literally. Our new state-of-the-art facilities are emblematic of our best-in-the-industry sales software. If you're looking to take your sales team to the next level, give us a call. We're always doing business and just itching to pick up the phone. If you're interested in Routzy, you can download a free trial on the App Store or read more at Routzy.com. Once your free trial expires, Routzy is available for an inexpensive subscription of $49.99 a month. So, what have you got to lose? Try Routzy today. RoutzyTV is produced by Coalesce Software and broadcast from Columbus, Ohio. I'm Caitlin signing off. We'll see you next time.